we've been updating you all on what has happened to the families, the migrant families that were separated at the border. As we had shared with you, hundreds of those families have yet to be reunited as a result of the White House and the government just being unable to find the parents who were deported as their children were kept in cages here in the United States. Well, now we have some more information about the number of families who still have yet to be reunited, but more importantly, how the Trump administration was withholding information and data that could have helped these families get reunited much sooner. So in a federal court filing in California late Wednesday, the lawyers representing these migrant families, who by the way are working for free, said that the Justice Department data from the Executive Office of Immigration Review, which includes information for parents and children in immigration court proceedings, was just finally released after a number of court battles last week. So among other things, the information includes phone numbers that had not previously been known, the lawyer said in this filing. So understand that there was critical information that the White House was simply, that the administration was simply holding on to and refusing to release that could have helped these lawyers reunite these kids with their parents. The deputy director for the ACLU Immigrants' Rights Project says that this measure is obviously a delayed approach. Here's a statement from Lee Gellert, who says, "We have been repeatedly asking the Trump administration for any additional data they might have to help locate the families and are only getting these new phone numbers and addresses. Everyone's been asking whether the Trump administration has been helping to find these families. Not only have they not been helping, but they've been withholding this data forever." How unbelievably disgusting is that? And by the way, the parents of 666 migrant children had yet to be found by these lawyers. But luckily, since they were able to obtain the data that we're talking about right now, some families have been reunited since then. Some families have been identified since the Trump administration's release of this data, bringing the total number of families that still need to be united or reunited to 628. Within the new data, which lawyers said they had not had adequate time to review, the number could be reduced further. So, I mean, it's a mix of good news, but also pretty terrible news. I mean, I'm not naive enough to think that the Trump administration wouldn't do something as hideous as this. But the fact that they held on to this information that could have put these families in touch with one another for so long, as all these negative stories were coming out, it really shows you how unbelievably cruel they are. They just don't care.
Yeah, no, this is an extra level. I'm trying to figure out why. Is it, and the answer might be both here again, but incompetence, they had the information all along, but they just didn't care. They don't care at all that they're separated. And so they didn't even bother looking to see how they could reunite those kids with their families. And because of that incompetence, they just kept them in a cage for 3 years. Who cares, right? That's a very plausible explanation. The other is, no, it was to kind of rub it in. Like, no, we know, we have it. This is a deterrence. This will teach them to not come here with their kids. Otherwise, we'll put their kids in a cage. We know how to bring them back together. We have their information. We're just not going to share it. And that would be evil. If evil exists, that's what it looks like. And I don't know which one it is. Both are terrible, and it is possible that it is a combination of both. And that perfectly describes the Trump administration.
Yeah, definitely. And keep in mind, I mean, these children who have remained in the United States under, border patrol custody are treated horribly. There's no question about it. But taxpayers actually spend money and resources on keeping these children, in these awful situations where they are treated terribly, right? Like, it's just insane because not only is what Trump did and what his White House did insanely cruel, it just makes no sense when you go back and listen to the reasoning that we've heard over and over again from Republicans who claim that we need to do something about immigration because it's draining our resources. No, what you guys do in response to immigration drains resources. they're 100% fueled by their hatred of these people. And it's just so disgusting and shocking, especially when you consider these are asylum seekers. These are people who came to the border looking for safety with their children in tow. And this is the kind of reaction they received. It's disgusting.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.